The sun begins its slow, deliberate descent over the Maasai Mara, casting a golden veil across the endless savannah. Each evening this celestial ritual marks the closing of another day in Africa's wild heart, and yet no two sunsets are ever quite the same. It is a spectacle of breathtaking beauty, a daily performance that never fails to astonish. The sky, vast and unbroken, becomes a living painting, shifting and evolving with every passing moment. The heavens ignite in a riot of colour, fiery orange, soft pink and deep purple, each hue blending seamlessly into the next. Wisps of cloud catch the last rays, glowing like embers scattered across the sky. Long shadows stretch across the vast plains, painting the landscape in dramatic tones. Every tree, every blade of grass is etched in sharp relief, as if the world itself is holding its breath. This is the golden hour, a time of transition when the harshness of the day softens and the world is bathed in a gentle, forgiving light. The air, once shimmering with the relentless heat of the afternoon, begins to cool. A subtle shift, almost imperceptible, signals the approach of night. A gentle breeze stirs, whispering through the iconic red-oat grass. The tall stalks sway in unison, rippling like a golden ocean beneath the dying sun. It is a moment of deceptive peace, a quiet pause before the great drama of the night begins to unfold. The savannah seems to exhale, settling into a fragile calm. Every living thing seems to feel this change. The birds quiet their songs, and the insects begin their nightly chorus, a subtle shift in the soundtrack of the wild. The herds of wildebeest and zebra scattered across the horizon seem to glow in the fading light. Their coats catch the sun's last rays, turning them into moving silhouettes against the vastness. Their calls become softer, more subdued, as if they are holding their breath for what is to come. The usual chatter of the day gives way to a hush, a collective anticipation. The acacia trees, with their distinctive flat tops, stand like solitary sentinels against the vibrant sky. Their silhouettes are etched in black, timeless and unyielding. They have witnessed this scene for centuries, silent observers of the endless cycle of life and death that plays out beneath their branches. Each sunset is another chapter in the ancient story of the land. This is not just a sunset, it is a signal, a turning point in the daily rhythm of the savannah. The world is shifting and every creature knows it. The day shift is ending and a new, more dangerous world is about to awaken. The shadows lengthen and the first hints of darkness creep across the land. The light itself seems to possess a magical quality. It lingers, casting an enchanting glow that transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. It bathes everything in a warm, ethereal glow, making even the most familiar scenes look new and wondrous. The landscape is momentarily suspended between day and night. A family of giraffes moves gracefully in the distance, their long necks silhouetted against the setting sun. They glide across the plains unhurried, as if savouring the last moments of daylight. They are the gentle giants of this land, browsing peacefully on the leaves of the tall trees. Their presence is a reminder of the delicate balance that sustains life here. For a moment all is calm. The world seems to pause, suspended in the golden light. The air is filled with the scent of dry earth and wild sage, a fragrance that speaks of ancient cycles and enduring life. But this tranquility is fragile. Beneath the surface, tension simmers, and every creature is keenly aware of the coming darkness. It is the deep breath before the plunge, the quiet hum before the symphony of the night begins its powerful and often brutal overture. The savannah is poised on the edge of transformation. Here in this immense wilderness, every day ends this way. The sun's departure is both a constant and a mystery, a ritual that binds all life together. But it is never the same. Each sunset brings its own colours, its own moods, its own sense of anticipation. Each sunset writes a new story in the sky, a new promise of the challenges and opportunities that the darkness will bring. The savannah is a stage, and the actors are readying themselves for the night's performance. The predators, who have been resting in the shade, begin to stir. Their eyes catch the last glimmers of light, and their bodies tense in anticipation. Their muscles twitch, their senses sharpen. Every sound, every movement is registered with acute awareness. They are waiting for the cover of night, their greatest ally. In darkness, they become invisible, their power magnified by the absence of light. The prey animals huddle closer together, their instincts screaming a warning. They know that the coming hours will test their vigilance and their luck. The golden hour is a beautiful farewell to the safety of the sun, and a solemn greeting to the perils of the night. It is a time of beauty, but also of foreboding. The performance is about to begin. As the last light fades, the savannah braces itself for the fierce symphony of the night, a world where every moment is a struggle for survival, and every creature plays its part in nature's grand, unending drama. The Maasai Mara is more than just a landscape. It is a living, breathing stage, a vast arena where the greatest drama on earth is performed daily. Every sunrise marks the beginning of a new act in this endless play. Stretching for thousands of square kilometres, these rolling grasslands are dotted with acacia woodlands, rocky outcrops known as kopjes, and winding rivers. Each element of this landscape contributes to the intricate tapestry of life here. Each feature of this environment plays a crucial role in the lives of its inhabitants. The acacia trees provide shade and food, while the kopjes offer shelter and vantage points. The open plains offer little cover, forcing animals to rely on speed and vigilance for survival. Here, every movement is a calculated risk, every decision a matter of life and death. The tall grasses, while providing food for the grazers, also offer the perfect camouflage for the hunters who stalk them, creating a constant, nerve-wracking tension. Predators like lions and cheetahs blend seamlessly into this golden sea, their presence felt but rarely seen. The Mara River snakes through this landscape like a vital artery, its waters sustaining life in this harsh environment. It is a lifeline for countless species, from the smallest insects to the largest mammals. It is a source of life, providing water for countless animals. Herds of wildebeest, zebra and antelope gather at its banks, drawn by the promise of sustenance, but it is also a place of immense danger. Hidden beneath its murky surface, Nile crocodiles lie in wait, ancient predators that have mastered the art of the ambush. These formidable reptiles can remain motionless for hours, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. With lightning speed, they launch themselves at unsuspecting prey, their powerful jaws snapping shut with bone-crushing force. The river, a giver of life, can also be a harbinger of death. During the Great Migration, this river becomes a terrifying obstacle for millions of wildebeest and zebra. The crossing is a perilous journey, fraught with danger at every turn. The choices they make here, where and when to cross, are matters of life and death. Hesitation can be fatal, but so can a poorly timed leap into the water. The riverbanks, worn smooth by the passage of countless hooves, are silent witnesses to epic struggles and heartbreaking losses. Each crossing leaves its mark, a testament to the relentless cycle of life and death. This river gives life, but it also takes it away without mercy. The struggle for survival is starkly evident here, where the strong prevail and the weak are left behind. The kopjes, ancient granite islands rising from the sea of grass, serve as important landmarks and refuges. These rocky outcrops are more than just geological formations, they are sanctuaries in a vast and often unforgiving landscape. They provide shade from the relentless sun and a high vantage point for predators like lions and leopards. From these elevated perches they can survey their territory, watching the movements of the herds below. From these rocky lookouts they can survey their territory, watching the movements of the herds below. Every rustle in the grass, every flicker of movement is noted as they plan their next move. For smaller creatures, the cracks and crevices of these rocks offer a safe haven from the dangers of the open plain. Here they can find shelter from predators and the elements, a brief respite in their constant struggle for survival. These kopjes are like castles, strategic strongholds in the ongoing battle for survival. They are central hubs of activity, places of rest and deadly launching pads for an attack. They are central hubs of activity, places of rest and deadly launching pads for an attack. From these rocky fortresses, predators can launch surprise attacks on unsuspecting prey, turning the tide of the hunt in their favour. This entire ecosystem is a complex mosaic of habitats, each interconnected and interdependent. The health of the grasslands depends on the grazers who trim them, which in turn prevents wildfires. The health of the grasslands depends on the grazers who trim them, which in turn prevents wildfires. The predators help to control the herbivore populations, ensuring the vegetation is not overgrazed. The predators help to control the herbivore populations, ensuring the vegetation is not overgrazed. Even the smallest termite mounds play a role, enriching the soil and providing lookout posts for animals like cheetahs. Even the smallest termite mounds play a role, enriching the soil and providing lookout posts for animals like cheetahs. These tiny architects of the savannah contribute to the overall health and balance of the ecosystem. Everything is connected in a delicate and intricate web. The actions of one species can have far-reaching effects on the entire ecosystem. The Maasai Mara is not just a backdrop for the action, it is an active participant, shaping the destiny of every creature that calls it home. The landscape itself influences the behaviour and survival strategies of its inhabitants. The stage itself is a character in this epic play. Its features, from the rolling grasslands to the winding rivers, from the towering acacias to the ancient kopjes, all play a part in the grand narrative of life and death in the savannah. When the sun is high in the sky, a different cast of characters takes centre stage. The African savannah, bathed in the golden light of midday, becomes a bustling theatre of life. This is the time of the grazers and the swift hunters who thrive in the light. The grazers, with their heads down, munching on the abundant grass, are the unsung heroes of this ecosystem. The plains are dominated by the immense herds of the Great Migration, over 1 million wildebeest. Their numbers so vast that they seem to form a living, moving carpet across the landscape. Hundreds of thousands of zebras, their black and white stripes creating a mesmerizing pattern, join this epic journey, and vast numbers of gazelles move as one great superorganism, their synchronized movements a testament to their unity and survival instincts. Their constant search for fresh grass is the engine that drives this entire ecosystem. The grazers' relentless grazing keeps the grasslands in check, preventing overgrowth and maintaining the balance. The air is filled with their calls, the drumming of their hooves, and the dust they kick up into the sky. This cacophony of sounds and sights is the heartbeat of the savannah. Their sheer numbers offer some protection. A predator can be confused by the mass of moving bodies. The predators, ever watchful, must navigate this sea of life to single out the weak or the young. Among these herds walks the largest land animal on earth, the African elephant. Towering above the other creatures, they move with a grace that belies their immense size. They move in close-knit family groups led by a wise old matriarch. Her leadership is crucial, guiding her family through the challenges of the savannah. Her knowledge of the land, passed down through generations, is essential for the survival of her family. She knows the hidden paths, the secret waterholes, and the safest routes. She knows where to find water in times of drought and how to navigate the vast plains. Her wisdom is a beacon of hope in the harshest of times. Elephants are the architects of the savannah. Their actions shape the environment, creating opportunities for other species to thrive. They dig for water, creating pools for other animals. These waterholes become lifelines for countless creatures during the dry season. They clear paths through thick bush, opening up new areas for grazing and movement, and disperse seeds in their dung, shaping the very landscape they inhabit. Their dung is a rich source of nutrients, fostering new plant growth. Their intelligence and deep social bonds are truly remarkable. They communicate through a complex language of sounds and gestures, their relationships built on trust and cooperation. They are the gentle, powerful gardeners of the Mara. Their presence is a testament to the delicate balance of nature. But the daylight hours are also the hunting time for the fastest land animal on the planet, the cheetah. With their sleek bodies and keen eyesight, they are the epitome of speed and agility. Built for explosive speed, the cheetah uses the open plains to its advantage. Every muscle in its body is designed for one purpose, to run. Unlike lions, they do not rely on brute strength, but on incredible acceleration. In a matter of seconds, they can reach speeds that leave their prey with little chance of escape. A cheetah will spend hours scanning the horizon, often from the top of a termite mound, searching for a lone gazelle or a young wildebeest that has strayed from the herd. Their patience and focus are key to their hunting success. The chase is a breathtaking spectacle of athletic prowess. Every stride is a calculated move, every leap a testament to their incredible agility. It is an all-or-nothing gamble. The cheetah must catch its prey quickly or risk exhaustion and failure. A successful hunt provides a vital meal, but the immense energy expended means that failure can be catastrophic. The cheetah's survival hinges on these high-stakes chases. And then there are the vultures circling high above. These scavengers play a crucial role in the ecosystem, often overlooked but indispensable. They are the ever-present sentinels of the sky. With their keen eyesight, they can spot a kill from miles away, descending swiftly to claim their share. Their keen eyesight allows them to spot a kill from miles away. They are nature's clean-up crew, ensuring that no part of a carcass goes to waste. They are often the first to arrive at a carcass, playing a crucial role as nature's clean-up crew. Their presence ensures that the savannah remains free of disease and decay. While they may not be the most glamorous of birds, they are utterly essential to the health of the savannah. Their role is vital, maintaining the balance of life and death. By quickly consuming dead animals, they prevent the spread of disease. Their efficiency is unmatched, leaving nothing but bones in their wake. Their presence in the sky is a signal to other predators that a meal has been secured. The sight of circling vultures often draws lions and hyenas to the scene, eager to claim their share. In the bright light of day, every animal is playing its part in this intricate dance of survival. From the smallest insect to the largest elephant, each creature contributes to the delicate balance of the savannah. As the sun dips below the horizon, the Maasai Mara undergoes a profound transformation. The golden light that once bathed the savannah in warmth and clarity now fades, replaced by the encroaching shadows of night. The air, once shimmering with heat, begins to cool, and a gentle breeze stirs the tall grasses, carrying with it the promise of change. The world of vibrant colour fades into a monochromatic landscape of silver and black. The last rays of sunlight are swallowed by the horizon, and the land is painted in shades of grey, illuminated only by the pale, ethereal glow of the moon. The familiar plains become an alien territory, filled with strange sounds and unseen dangers. Shapes that were once easily identified now blur into the mist, and every shadow seems to move with a life of its own. The temperature drops rapidly, and the air grows heavy with the scent of dew and damp earth. Moisture clings to every blade of grass, and a thin veil of fog begins to settle over the low-lying areas, further obscuring the landscape. This is the moment of handover, a delicate, almost imperceptible shift, when the day's inhabitants retreat and the creatures of the night emerge from their hiding places. The animals of the day, like the zebra and gazelle, become increasingly nervous, their bodies tense, muscles coiled, as they sense the coming of darkness and the dangers it brings. Their vision is poor in the low light, and they know that the darkness conceals their greatest enemies. Every flicker at the edge of their sight, every shadow, could be a predator waiting to strike. They gather in tight groups, seeking safety in numbers, their ears constantly swivelling to catch the faintest sound. The herd becomes a living shield, each animal relying on the vigilance of its companions. The sounds of the savannah change completely. The daytime chorus of birds and insects fades, replaced by a new, more mysterious symphony. The constant low hum of the grazing herds is replaced by a new chorus, a tapestry of sounds that signal the arrival of night. The chirping of crickets and the croaking of frogs create a steady rhythm, a background pulse that fills the air and marks the passage of time in the darkness. But piercing this background noise are other, more chilling sounds, sudden, sharp and unmistakable. The distant whooping call of a hyena echoes across the plains, a signal to its clan and a warning to all others. The guttural, low grunt of a lion, a sound that travels for miles and serves as a declaration of territory. It is a sound that chills the blood of every creature within earshot, a reminder of the power that stalks the night. These are the sounds of the night hunters, and for the prey animals, they are terrifying reminders that they are no longer safe. Every instinct tells them to be alert, to be ready to flee at a moment's notice. Every snap of a twig, every rustle in the grass could signal an approaching predator. The tension is palpable, a silent current that runs through every living thing. Shadows, which offered welcome relief from the sun during the day, now become places of terror. They stretch and deepen, hiding dangers that are invisible to the naked eye. They stretch and merge, creating a landscape of illusion where nothing is quite as it seems. The mind plays tricks, turning harmless shapes into imagined threats. A termite mound can look like a crouching lion, its silhouette distorted by the moonlight and the imagination of a frightened animal. A bush can conceal a lurking leopard, its spotted coat blending perfectly with the dappled shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The familiar world has become a labyrinth of fear, a maze where every path could lead to safety or sudden death. The animal senses are pushed to their absolute limits. Eyes widen, nostrils flare, and ears twitch at every sound, every scent carried on the wind. Their survival now depends not just on sight, but on hearing and smell. The darkness forces them to rely on senses that are often secondary during the day. The gentle breeze, which was so refreshing in the afternoon, now carries scents that can mean the difference between life and death. The scent of a predator upwind, or the reassuring smell of the herd. This nightly transformation is the engine of the Mara's drama. It is a cycle that has played out for millennia, shaping the lives and behaviours of every creature that calls this place home. It forces a change in strategy for every inhabitant. The grazers become more cautious, the hunters more daring, and the scavengers more opportunistic. The hunters use the darkness as a cloak, their incredible night vision giving them a huge advantage. They move silently, blending into the shadows, their eyes reflecting the faintest glimmer of moonlight. The hunted must rely on their other senses, their herd instincts, and a great deal of luck. Every decision, every movement could mean the difference between life and death. The familiar stage of the savannah has been reset for a different kind of play, one that is more intimate, more intense, and far more deadly. The stakes are higher, and the consequences more immediate. The gathering shadows do not just bring an end to the day, they give birth to a whole new world of struggle and survival. In this world, every sense is heightened, every moment is fraught with danger, and every creature must adapt or perish. The night in the Maasai Mara is not merely a time of darkness, it is a living, breathing force that shapes the destiny of all who dwell here. As the sun dips below the horizon and the last golden rays fade from the Maasai Mara, a profound transformation sweeps across the savannah. The world is plunged into darkness, and with it a new order emerges, one ruled not by the gentle grazers of the day, but by the most formidable predators the night has ever known. In this inky blackness, the true rulers of the Maasai Mara step from the shadows. The air is thick with anticipation, every movement and sound amplified beneath the vast starlit sky. At the very top of this nocturnal hierarchy stands the lion, the undisputed king of the night. His presence is both regal and menacing, a living embodiment of power and authority. By day, lions are content to lounge in the shade, conserving their energy beneath the protective canopy of acacia trees. But as darkness falls, they are utterly transformed, no longer languid, but alert and electric with purpose. The lazy cats that spent the day sleeping under acacia trees become focused, formidable hunters. Their muscles ripple beneath tawny coats as they stretch and yawn, preparing for the night's work ahead. Lions are not solitary assassins. They hunt as a team, employing sophisticated strategies that rely on communication, coordination, and an intimate knowledge of their territory. Each member of the pride has a role to play, and their success depends on flawless execution. The lionesses, sleek and powerful, are the pride's primary hunters. They move like shadows themselves, using the cover of darkness and the undulating terrain to their advantage, their senses sharpened to a razor's edge. Often, the lionesses will split into smaller groups, some circling wide to drive prey towards others lying in silent ambush. Every step is calculated, every movement deliberate as they close in on their unsuspecting quarry. The lion's roar, echoing across the plains, is more than a territorial declaration. It is a weapon in itself, a thunderous sound that sows panic and confusion among the herds, scattering them and making them easier to isolate and hunt. Yet the lions are not alone in their dominion over the night. The darkness is alive with competition, and the struggle for supremacy is relentless. Their greatest rivals, the spotted hyenas, are equally at home in the shadows. With their haunting calls and eerie laughter, hyenas are the embodiment of cunning and resilience. Often dismissed as mere scavengers, hyenas are in fact among Africa's most successful predators. Their jaws are powerful enough to crush bone, and their stamina allows them to pursue prey over long distances, outlasting even the most determined quarry. Hyenas hunt in large, highly organized clans, each led by a dominant female. Their social structure is complex, with intricate hierarchies and alliances that rival those of primates. Their intelligence is remarkable. Hyenas communicate through a rich repertoire of vocalizations, body language, and even scent, coordinating their movements and sharing information about food and danger. Working together, a hyena clan can bring down prey as large as an adult wildebeest or zebra, their teamwork and persistence overcoming even the most formidable defences. But hyenas are also relentless opportunists. They will scavenge whenever possible, making use of every scrap and leaving nothing to waste. It is not uncommon to see hyenas shadowing a lion pride, waiting patiently for the right moment to rush in and steal a hard-won kill. These encounters are tense, fraught with risk and reward. The nightly battles between lions and hyenas are legendary, epic contests of strength, numbers and nerve. Sometimes the outcome is decided by sheer force, other times by clever tactics and unyielding persistence. Yet among these powerful contenders there is one hunter who prefers to remain unseen, the leopard. The most elusive of the nocturnal predators, the leopard is a master of stealth and secrecy. Solitary by nature, the leopard moves silently through the darkness, its golden eyes scanning for the slightest movement. Every muscle is tuned for the hunt, every step calculated to avoid detection. Its beautifully spotted coat is more than just decoration. It is perfect camouflage, allowing the leopard to melt into the shadows and become almost invisible, even to the sharpest eyes. With patience and precision, a leopard can approach its prey to within a few meters, undetected and ready to strike with explosive speed. The leopard's strength is legendary. It is capable of dragging a kill much heavier than itself up into the branches of a tree, hoisting its prize high above the reach of lions and hyenas. This remarkable feat is a crucial survival strategy, ensuring that the leopard's hard-earned meal remains safe from the ever-watchful eyes of other predators. To witness a leopard at night is a rare and unforgettable privilege, a fleeting glimpse of one of nature's most perfect assassins moving with ghostly grace through the darkness. For all these predators, the night is a time of heightened senses. Every sound, every scent, every flicker of movement is registered and analyzed, as survival depends on constant vigilance. Their eyes are equipped with a remarkable adaptation, a reflective layer called the tapetum lucidum. This structure gathers and amplifies every trace of available light, giving their gaze that eerie, otherworldly glow. It is this adaptation that allows them to see in near total darkness, to navigate the blackness with confidence, and to hunt with deadly precision. Their hearing is equally acute, able to detect the faintest rustle of grass or the softest footfall of a potential meal, even from great distances. For these animals, the night is not a handicap, it is their greatest advantage. They have evolved to thrive in the darkness, turning the challenges of the night into opportunities for dominance. They are the night watch. The formidable predators who command the shadows, shape the fate of the savannah, and write the rules in this dark and dangerous world. In the symphony of the African night, they are the undisputed rulers, their stories written in the silence and the shadows. The Mara River snakes its way through the heart of the African savannah, a shimmering ribbon of life in a landscape that is often parched, sun-baked, and unforgiving. For countless miles it carves a path through the dry earth, its waters a precious resource in a world where rain is rare and the sun rules with relentless intensity. All living creatures, great and small, are eventually drawn to its banks. Elephants lumber down dusty trails, their trunks raised to scent the water. Herds of zebras and wildebeest gather in nervous clusters, their hooves kicking up clouds of dust as they approach. Even the smallest antelope and the most cautious birds find their way to the river's edge, compelled by the unyielding need for water. But this lifeline is fraught with peril. The river, so vital and inviting, conceals dangers beneath its surface, dangers that have shaped the behaviour of every animal that comes to drink. This is the domain of one of Africa's most ancient and formidable predators, the Nile crocodile. These reptiles have ruled these waters for millions of years, their lineage stretching back to the age of the dinosaurs. Nile crocodiles can grow to truly immense sizes, some reaching lengths of over 20 feet and weighing more than 1,000 kilograms. Their armoured bodies and powerful jaws are perfectly adapted for ambush, and they are masters of patience, waiting motionless for hours, sometimes days, for the perfect opportunity. Submerged just beneath the surface, only their eyes and nostrils betray their presence. They can remain almost completely hidden, their bodies perfectly still, conserving energy as they wait for prey to come within striking distance. Their camouflage is so effective that to the untrained eye they appear as nothing more than logs drifting in the current. This illusion is their greatest weapon, lulling animals into a false sense of security. The crocodile waits, motionless, for a single moment of carelessness, a slip, a stumble, or a drink taken just a little too close to the water's edge. For the herds of wildebeest and zebra, a trip to the river is a test of nerves. The air is thick with tension as they gather, each animal acutely aware of the danger that lurks just out of sight. They approach the water with extreme caution, their heads held high, nostrils flaring, and ears twitching at every sound. Every sense is on high alert, the tension almost palpable in the air. Often the animals will hesitate for long minutes, pacing back and forth, sniffing the air and the water, building up the courage to drink. Sometimes the bravest or the most desperate will step forward, only to retreat at the last second. But thirst is a powerful motivator. Eventually the need for water overcomes fear, and one animal bends to drink. The rest of the herd follows, the tension momentarily broken. It is at this precise moment that the crocodile strikes. With astonishing speed, it erupts from the water, jaws agape, targeting the nearest victim. The attack is an explosion of raw power and speed. The water churns violently as the crocodile lunges, scattering the herd in a frenzy of panic. In a flash, the predator's jaws clamp down on an unsuspecting leg or neck. The struggle is desperate and violent, the victim thrashing in a futile attempt to break free. The battle is often brief but always brutal. The crocodile drags its prey into deeper water where it drowns and is consumed. The river, once calm, is now a scene of chaos and violence. The river's dangers reach their zenith during the Great Migration, when the plains come alive with the thunder of hooves. Over 1 million wildebeest, accompanied by zebras and gazelles, converge on the Mara River in one of nature's greatest spectacles. The herds gather at the riverbank, the pressure of thousands of bodies behind them. Each animal faces a terrifying choice: to cross the swollen, crocodile-infested river, or risk being trampled by the masses behind. The river is swollen with recent rains, its currents swift and treacherous. Beneath the surface, crocodiles gather in anticipation, knowing that a feast is about to begin. The tension builds until finally one brave or desperate individual leaps into the water. In an instant, the rest of the herd follows, driven by instinct and the unstoppable force of the migration. What follows is a stampede, a chaotic, desperate surge as thousands of animals plunge into the river, churning the water into a frothing maelstrom. The crocodiles, who have waited patiently for this moment all year, launch themselves into a feeding frenzy. Dozens attack at once, seizing any animal that strays too close. The river crossing becomes a scene of pure primal chaos. Animals scramble over one another, desperate to escape the jaws of death and reach the safety of the far bank. It is one of the most dramatic and harrowing spectacles in the natural world. Yet even in the midst of death, life finds a way. The bodies of those that do not survive the crossing become a vital resource for countless other creatures. Vultures, marabou storks and fish gather to feed on the remains, while hyenas and jackals scavenge along the banks. Nothing is wasted, every part of the fallen is consumed. The crocodiles feast, but so do the fish and wading birds. The riverbank becomes a hub of activity, a place where predator and scavenger alike benefit from the bounty. The nutrients from the decomposed bodies seep into the water, enriching the river and supporting a thriving aquatic ecosystem. Fish, insects and plants all benefit, and the cycle of life continues. The river's edge is a place of stark contrasts, lush green life pressed against the harsh, dry savannah. Here, the abundance of water gives rise to vibrant life, even as it brings the ever-present threat of sudden, violent death. It is a place where the promise of life and the shadow of death are never far apart. Every drink is a gamble, every visit a test of survival. As the sun sets over the Mara River, the silhouettes of animals and crocodiles are cast against the glowing water, a powerful reminder of the thin, fragile line that separates survival from tragedy in the Maasai Mara. Here at the water's edge, the eternal drama of life and death plays out day after day in nature's fierce and beautiful symphony. In the Maasai Mara, nothing goes to waste. Here, every life lost is transformed into sustenance for countless others, fueling a complex and interconnected web of survival. The savannah is a place where death is not an end, but a vital beginning for a new cycle. Every death, whether from a predator's swift attack, the slow grip of disease, or the exhaustion of migration, becomes a source of life for a host of other creatures. The remains left behind are never ignored. They are a beacon calling forth the savannah's most efficient recyclers. High above the golden plains, the cleanup crew is always on patrol. Vultures, with their broad wings and keen eyes, glide effortlessly on thermals, scanning the landscape for the faintest sign of opportunity. They are patient, ever watchful, waiting for the signal that a meal awaits. The vultures are the most visible and perhaps the most misunderstood members of this essential team. Their presence is a sign that the savannah's natural order is at work and that nothing will be wasted. With eyesight 8 times more powerful than a human's, vultures can spot a carcass from thousands of feet in the air. Even the smallest movement or glint of flesh is enough to draw their attention, setting the cleanup process in motion. The sight of a single vulture descending is a powerful signal. It acts as a silent alarm, alerting others for miles around that a feast has begun. Within moments, the sky comes alive with movement. Soon, the air is thick with wings as dozens, sometimes hundreds of vultures spiral down to the site of the kill. Their arrival is both dramatic and purposeful, a testament to their role as nature's highly efficient undertakers. They descend upon the carcass with astonishing speed and precision. Their sharp beaks and strong necks make quick work of even the toughest hides, ensuring that nothing is left to rot. The Maasai Mara is home to several different species of vulture, each with its own unique role and a well-defined pecking order. This hierarchy ensures that the cleanup is both orderly and efficient. The large and powerful lappet-faced vultures are usually the first to arrive. Their imposing size and strength allow them to dominate the initial feeding frenzy. With their formidable beaks, lappet-faced vultures can tear through the tough hide of even the largest animals. They open up the carcass, making it accessible for the smaller, less powerful species that follow. Next come the white-backed vultures, arriving in large, noisy flocks. They work together, stripping the bones of meat with incredible speed and efficiency, leaving little behind. Finally, the smaller hooded vultures move in. They are the last to feed, picking up the tiniest scraps and morsels left by their larger cousins, ensuring that nothing is wasted. This organized system, honed by evolution, means that a carcass can be reduced to a bare skeleton in a matter of hours. The efficiency of this process is nothing short of remarkable. But the vultures are not the only members of the clean-up crew. On the ground, a host of other scavengers are always ready to take advantage of a free meal. Hyenas and jackals, ever watchful, approach the scene with caution and determination. Their keen senses and opportunistic nature make them expert scavengers, always ready to claim their share. The spotted hyenas, while formidable hunters in their own right, are also masters of scavenging. Their adaptability allows them to thrive in a world where competition is fierce. With jaws strong enough to crush bones, hyenas can access the nutritious marrow hidden within. They consume parts of the carcass that even vultures cannot, leaving almost nothing behind. Jackals, smaller and more agile, dart in and out of the chaos, snatching pieces of meat whenever the opportunity arises. Their speed and cunning allow them to survive alongside much larger competitors. Even the tiniest creatures play a crucial role. Armies of ants and beetles swarm over the remains, consuming the last traces of flesh and sinew, ensuring that nothing is left to waste. This intricate process is vital for the health of the entire ecosystem. By removing dead animals quickly, the cleanup crew prevents the build-up of decaying matter, which could otherwise threaten the balance of life on the savannah. The teamwork displayed by these scavengers is a marvel of nature. Each species, from the largest vulture to the smallest beetle, has a role to play in this grand clean-up operation. By disposing of dead animals so quickly and efficiently, the clean-up crew prevents the spread of deadly diseases like anthrax and rabies. Without their intervention, these diseases could devastate both animal and human populations, disrupting the delicate balance of the Mara. In many ways, these scavengers are the unsung sanitation workers of the savannah. Their tireless efforts keep the environment clean and healthy, allowing life to flourish. Though often viewed with distaste or even fear, these creatures are the unsung heroes of the Maasai Mara. Their work is essential. Their presence a sign of a thriving ecosystem. They are the final link in the food chain, ensuring that the circle of life continues unbroken. Through their efforts, death is transformed back into life, nourishing the land and all who depend on it. In the Maasai Mara, the cleanup crew is not just a necessity. They are the guardians of nature's eternal symphony. In the heart of the Maasai Mara, every animal, every blade of grass and every gust of wind is woven into a vast, intricate tapestry of life. This is not merely a collection of creatures and elements, but a living, breathing network, an interconnected web where the fate of one is tied to the fate of all. Imagine a grand symphony where each animal, from the tiniest insect to the largest elephant, plays a unique and vital role. The rhythm of survival pulses through the land, with every participant contributing to the harmony and balance of the ecosystem. The most dramatic movements in this symphony are the age-old struggles between predator and prey. Lions stalk the herds, cheetahs race after gazelles, and the chase is both breathtaking and brutal. Yet these visible dramas are only the surface of a much deeper network of connections. Take the wildebeest, for example. Their vast herds sweep across the plains in a migration that is one of nature's greatest spectacles. But their role extends far beyond being a food source for lions and hyenas. As they graze, wildebeest trim the grasses, encouraging new shoots to grow. Their hooves churn and aerate the soil, breaking up the hard earth and allowing rainwater to penetrate more deeply, nourishing the roots below. Their dung, left behind in countless piles, is a treasure trove of nutrients. It fertilizes the land, feeding the grasses that sustain not only the wildebeest, but countless other herbivores. Dung beetles and insects swarm to these droppings, breaking them down and recycling the nutrients back into the earth. In this way, wildebeest are not just prey. They are gardeners, cultivating and maintaining the very pastures they depend on. Their presence shapes the landscape, ensuring the health of the grasslands for generations to come. Everywhere you look, the interconnectedness of life is on display. Animal tracks crisscross the grass, evidence of countless journeys and interactions, each one leaving its mark on the land. Consider the oxpecker birds, often seen perched atop buffalo and giraffe. These small birds are more than mere passengers. They are partners in a delicate dance of mutual benefit. The oxpeckers feed on ticks and parasites that infest the hides of their large hosts. For the birds, it is a reliable source of food. For the buffalo and giraffe, it is a much-needed grooming service that helps keep them healthy. But the relationship goes even further. Oxpeckers are vigilant sentinels, quick to spot danger. If they suddenly take flight or sound an alarm, their hosts are alerted to the presence of predators, gaining precious seconds to react. The sudden flight of oxpeckers is often the first sign that a lion or leopard is near, a subtle warning system that can mean the difference between life and death. This partnership, though small in scale, is a perfect example of how cooperation and mutual benefit are woven into the fabric of the Mara. Each species, no matter how different, finds ways to help and depend on one another. These interactions, repeated millions of times across the plains, are the invisible threads that bind the ecosystem together. Even the tiniest creatures, like ants and termites, play roles that are vital to the health of the land. The mighty elephants, towering above the savannah, are themselves deeply connected to the smallest animals. Birds forage at their feet, and insects thrive in their wake. When elephants strip bark from trees or push them over, it may seem destructive. But these actions open up the forest, letting sunlight pour down and creating new spaces for grasses and shrubs to grow. The fallen trees become nurseries for new life. Sunlight reaches the ground, encouraging the growth of tender grasses that feed antelope, zebras, and other grazers. The cycle of life continues, fueled by the actions of the giants. The dead wood left behind is quickly colonized by insects, fungi, and reptiles. Lizards bask in the sun, beetles burrow into the bark, and the nutrients locked in the wood are slowly returned to the soil. Over time, the actions of elephants create a patchwork of habitats, open grasslands, dense thickets, and scattered woodlands. This diversity of environments supports a greater variety of species, increasing the region's overall biodiversity. Elephants are keystone species, meaning their presence and behavior have an outsized impact on the entire ecosystem. Without them, the balance of the Mara would shift, and many other species would struggle to survive. The Maasai Mara's web of life is both resilient and fragile. Like a spider's web glistening with morning dew, it is beautiful and strong yet vulnerable to disruption. Every species, from the towering elephant to the humble termite, is a vital link in this chain. Termites break down dead plant matter, enriching the soil and supporting the growth of new vegetation, which in turn feeds the herbivores and, ultimately, the predators. The predator relies on the prey depends on the grass, and the grass is nourished by the nutrients returned by decomposers. Scavengers and birds clean up what is left, ensuring nothing is wasted. This is a perfectly balanced system refined over millions of years of evolution. Each link is essential, and the removal of one can send ripples throughout the entire web. To truly appreciate the wonder of the Maasai Mara, one must look beyond the surface and understand these connections. Every animal, every plant, every interaction is a note in nature's grand composition. The Maasai Mara is not just a place of individual animals and isolated events. It is a single, magnificent living system, a fierce and beautiful symphony of survival, where every life is connected and every moment is part of nature's eternal dance. As the first gentle rays of sunlight stretch across the Maasai Mara, a new day is born. The savannah, shrouded in a delicate morning mist, awakens slowly, every blade of grass glistening with dew, every distant silhouette hinting at the life that stirs beneath the golden sky. The rising sun bathes the plains in a fresh, clean light, revealing the subtle aftermath of the night's dramas, tracks in the soft earth, tufts of fur, and the quiet, almost invisible scars of survival. The night's hunters, lions, leopards, and cheetahs, slip away into the shade, their bellies full or empty, their eyes heavy with fatigue. Meanwhile, the grazers, zebras, wildebeest, and antelope emerge into the open, their movements cautious, their survival a testament to vigilance, instinct, and a measure of luck. This daily rhythm, this endless circle of life and death, has played out here for millennia. Each sunrise marks not just a new day, but a continuation of an ancient story, one written in hoofprints, claw marks, and the silent language of survival. Here, nature reveals itself in its most raw, powerful, and impartial form. Every encounter, whether a dramatic chase or a quiet standoff, reminds us of the relentless struggle that defines life on these plains. The beauty of the Mara is not only in its breathtaking vistas and magnificent animals, but in the perfect, brutal balance that sustains them all. Every creature, from the smallest insect to the largest elephant, plays a role in this intricate web. Yet this balance is more fragile than it appears. Beneath the surface, the ecosystem teeters on the edge, vulnerable to even the slightest disruption. The Maasai Mara, for all its wildness, is not untouched by the modern world. Human settlements press ever closer. Roads and vehicles carve new paths through ancient landscapes, and the boundaries between wilderness and civilization blur. Human encroachment, climate change and poaching are growing threats that cast long shadows over this incredible wilderness. Droughts parch the land, poachers leave silent traps, and the animals' ancient routines are interrupted by new dangers. The land available for wildlife is shrinking. Fences and development fragment the savannah, threatening the ancient migration routes that have defined life here for generations. The challenges facing the animals of the Mara are no longer limited to the dangers of the night. Now they must navigate a landscape forever changed by human hands, their very future hanging in the balance. The fight for survival has become more complex, more desperate. Water grows scarce, food harder to find, and the old certainties of the wild are replaced by new, unpredictable threats. Yet amid these challenges there is hope. Conservation efforts shine as beacons in the darkness, offering a chance for renewal and resilience. Dedicated individuals, local Maasai communities, rangers, scientists and international organizations work tirelessly to protect this precious ecosystem. Their efforts span from anti-poaching patrols to education, from habitat restoration to fostering coexistence. They fight poaching, mitigate human-wildlife conflict, and strive to preserve the open spaces so vital for the animals' survival. Every snare removed, every conflict resolved, is a small victory in a much larger battle. Their work is a race against time, a relentless effort to outpace the mounting threats and secure a future for the Mara's wildlife. The future of the Maasai Mara depends on our ability to find harmony, a way for humans and wildlife to coexist peacefully, sharing the land and its resources. Achieving this requires a deep understanding of the delicate balance we are striving to protect, a recognition that every action, every decision ripples through the ecosystem. To witness the Maasai Mara is to witness a world both timeless and imperiled, a place where the ancient rhythms of nature persist, even as new threats gather on the horizon. It is a powerful, haunting reminder of what we stand to lose if we fail to act, a world of breathtaking beauty, irreplaceable and fragile. The fierce symphony of survival that plays out here every day is one of the greatest treasures on our planet, a living testament to resilience, adaptation, and the will to endure. We have a profound responsibility to ensure that this symphony does not fall silent. The choices we make today will echo through generations, shaping the fate of the Mara and all who call it home. We must listen to the Mara's story, understand its fragility, and do everything in our power to protect it. Only then can future generations stand in awe as the sun sets over these golden plains and the great unending drama of life continues, undaunted, untamed, and magnificent. Beneath the sweeping grasslands and acacia-dotted horizons of the Maasai Mara, there exists a hidden world, one rarely glimpsed but vital to the survival of all who roam above. In the cool shadows and beneath the soil, an intricate network of life quietly shapes the destiny of the savannah. Here armies of termites construct towering mounds, their architectural feats rivaling the greatest cities of the animal kingdom. These structures are more than mere homes. They regulate temperature, channel water, and enrich the earth, transforming barren ground into fertile soil. The termites themselves break down tough plant material, recycling nutrients and fueling the very grass that feeds the herds above. Nearby, dung beetles perform their tireless work, rolling and burying the remnants left by elephants, buffalo and antelope. Their labour clears the plains, prevents disease, and returns vital nutrients to the earth, ensuring the cycle of growth and renewal never falters. Even as the larger creatures move on, these tiny custodians remain, their lives a testament to persistence and purpose. Beneath the surface, earthworms and microbes weave through the soil, unseen yet indispensable. Their ceaseless activity aerates the ground, allowing rainwater to seep deep and roots to spread wide. Fungi form vast, invisible networks, connecting the roots of distant trees and grasses, sharing water and nutrients across the savannah's expanse. Above ground, the wind stirs seeds from spent flowers, scattering them across the plains. Birds and small mammals carry these seeds further still, planting the promise of new life in every corner of the Mara. The plants that emerge provide shelter, shade and sustenance, their survival dependent on the silent labourers below. Together, these unsung engineers create the foundation upon which the entire ecosystem rests. They shape the land, nurture the grasslands, and sustain the great migrations that define the Mara. Though they move in silence and shadow, their influence echoes through every sunrise, every thundering herd, and every predator's pursuit. In the Maasai Mara, the fate of the mighty is bound to the smallest of its inhabitants. It is in this quiet collaboration, unseen, unheralded, yet endlessly vital, that the true strength of the savannah lies. Without the silent architects, the great drama of life above would falter, and the golden plains would fall silent. As we marvel at the spectacle of the Mara, let us remember the hidden world beneath our feet, a world whose quiet persistence ensures that for now the symphony of life continues. As the seasons shift and the rains return, the Maasai Mara awakens in a surge of colour and sound. Across the plains, the first droplets of water seep into the thirsty earth, coaxing dormant seeds to life and stirring invisible forces into motion. Grasses unfurl in emerald waves stretching toward the sky, each blade a testament to the resilience of the land. With the renewal comes a delicate balance, a pulse that beats through every living thing. Antelope graze on the tender shoots, their careful selection shaping the landscape and guiding the regrowth of the plains. Insects emerge in dazzling numbers, fluttering and buzzing among the wildflowers, pollinating and spreading life with every gentle touch. Beneath the surface, roots race to claim precious moisture, weaving intricate patterns that anchor the soil against the coming storms. The fungi's hidden networks respond, redistributing water and nutrients to where they are needed most, ensuring that even the smallest sapling has a chance to reach the light. Rivers, swollen by distant rains, meander through the grasslands, their banks teeming with activity. Fish dart in the clear shallows, while amphibians lay eggs in the ephemeral pools left behind. Along the edges, reeds and lilies burst forth, stabilizing the banks and providing sanctuary for countless creatures. Above, flocks of birds return from distant migrations, their calls filling the dawn air. They feast on the bounty of insects, scatter seeds with each fluttering leap, and weave new nests hidden among the branches. Every movement, every interaction is a note in the Symphony of Renewal, a testament to the interconnectedness of the savannah. This dance of life is never static. It is a perpetual cycle of birth and decay, of abundance and scarcity, driven by the tireless work of countless species. The rhythm of renewal echoes through the Mara, a promise that as long as the rains fall and the grass grows, the story of the savannah will continue, unbroken, ever-evolving, and endlessly magnificent. Beneath the emerald canopy of swaying grasses, an unseen world stirs to life. Here in the cool, shadowed underworld just below the surface, countless tiny architects work tirelessly, shaping the very foundation of the savannah. Earthworms tunnel silently, churning the soil and weaving a labyrinth of passageways that allow water and air to nourish the roots above. Their movements break down fallen leaves and decaying stems, transforming yesterday's remnants into tomorrow's fertile ground. Alongside them, dung beetles roll their precious cargo, burying nutrients deep within the earth and preventing waste from overwhelming the plains. Microscopic life, bacteria, protozoa and fungi, conducts a silent symphony of decomposition, releasing locked-away minerals and sustaining the grasses that blanket the land in green. Each handful of soil teems with more living things than there are stars in the sky, each playing a vital role in this hidden ecosystem. Ant colonies expand their tunnels, aerating the soil and creating networks that connect plant roots to vital resources. Termites, often unseen but never absent, consume tough plant fibres and recycle them into rich humus, their mounds rising like miniature fortresses across the landscape. This underfoot community is essential to the savannah's resilience. It absorbs the shock of pounding hooves, anchors the land against erosion, and stores the memory of every season in layers of dark, fertile earth. Without these silent stewards, the grand spectacle above would falter, for it is the whispers beneath the grass that sustain the rhythm of life on the Mara. As night falls and the world above quiets, the work below continues, uninterrupted and eternal, a quiet promise that the cycle of renewal will endure, nourished by hands unseen but never unfelt. Beneath the surface, where roots entwine and the soil breathes, an invisible pulse animates the savannah. Here, chemical signals and electrical impulses course between plant roots, forming a hidden network scientists have only begun to understand. Through fine fungal threads, the mycorrhizal web, grasses and trees whisper secrets to one another, sharing nutrients, water and warnings of drought or pest. When acacia trees sense grazing mouths above, they can alert neighbours below, prompting a subtle change in leaf chemistry that deters hungry herbivores. In this subterranean realm, cooperation and competition are inseparable. Some plants secrete compounds to suppress rivals, while others foster partnerships, trading sugars for nutrients with their fungal allies. The soil itself becomes a living library, storing the genetic memory of seasons past, cataloguing the rise and fall of species, and recording every rainfall and fire in its layered depths. Unseen by even the sharpest predator or the keenest prey, this network is the savannah's silent heartbeat, a resilient system that endures drought, recovers from floods, and adapts to the ever-shifting dance of life above. Every blade of grass, every towering tree is connected to this invisible pulse, drawing strength from the collective wisdom encoded within the earth. As dawn approaches and the first light touches the plains, the pulse continues, unbroken, unfaltering, sustaining the savannah for generations yet to come. Beneath the grass roots and winding fungal threads, an even smaller world thrives, a universe of microbes orchestrating the savannah's cycles of life. Billions of bacteria, archaea and tiny fungi toil unseen, breaking down fallen leaves, animal droppings and ancient remains into nutrients that feed the next generation of growth. In this microscopic concert, each species plays a unique role. Some unlock nitrogen from the air, others decompose complex fibres, while a select few forge alliances with roots, exchanging minerals for plant-made sugars. As seasons shift from rain to drought, the microbial community adapts, reshaping itself to meet new challenges. When water is scarce, resilient species emerge, slowing their metabolism and waiting patiently for the next downpour. With the first drops of rain, dormant microbes awaken in a surge of activity, fueling a burst of growth across the plains above. Through their endless labor, these invisible engineers regulate the fertility of the soil, filter water, and even influence the air by releasing tiny clouds of spores and gases. They create a buffer against disease, suppressing harmful invaders and nurturing the health of plants and animals alike. Though their world is measured in microns and moments, their impact resounds across the savannah, linking every living thing in a grand unseen symphony. In this endless dance of decay and renewal, microbes are the silent composers, ensuring the savannah's rhythm never falters, and its story continues, layer by layer, life by life. Beneath the gaze of antelopes and the tread of elephants, another kind of architect quietly shapes the destiny of the savannah. These are the mycorrhizal fungi, thread-like networks that form vast living highways beneath the soil. Stretching for kilometers, these fungal filaments weave their way between plant roots, connecting trees and grasses in a silent, cooperative alliance. Through these underground channels, nutrients and water are exchanged in a delicate balance, allowing even the most isolated sapling to share in the bounty of the herd. When drought grips the land, the fungal web becomes a lifeline, transferring precious moisture from deep reserves to thirsty roots. In times of abundance, it redistributes surplus nutrients, ensuring the survival of weaker plants and maintaining the stability of the entire ecosystem. This network not only nourishes but also protects, alerting neighbouring plants to threats like pests or disease through chemical signals sent along fungal threads. Above ground, the effects are subtle but profound. Patches of unexpectedly lush grass, the resilience of ancient trees, and the persistence of wildflowers all bear the signature of these hidden engineers. Without them, the savannah would be fragmented, its cycles of growth and renewal broken. Instead, thanks to their tireless work, the landscape remains whole, an intricate tapestry of life, bound together by invisible strands of cooperation and resilience. As the sun rises and sets, and the seasons turn, the mycorrhizal network endures, quietly safeguarding the savannah's future beneath every footstep and every blade of grass. Beneath the endless expanse of golden grass, the soil itself holds a secret memory. An archive written not in words, but in the intricate patterns of life it shelters. Each grain of earth is a capsule of history, storing the echoes of every passing season. As roots push downward and fungi thread their way through the depths, they leave traces, chemical signatures, fragments of ancient leaves, and the dormant spores of countless organisms. These remnants weave a living record, allowing the savannah to remember times of abundance and hardship alike. When the rains return after months of drought, the soil's memory awakens. Dormant seeds, once buried and forgotten, stir to life, guided by signals from the microbial community. Bacteria and fungi leap into action, breaking down old matter and releasing nutrients locked away in the darkness. This surge of activity reignites the cycle of growth, summoning fresh blades of grass and wildflowers from the dust. Even the patterns of animal migration are etched into the earth. Hoofprints pressed deep during the dry season become microhabitats for insects and seeds, while decaying dung nourishes new life. The soil absorbs all, triumph and struggle, feast and famine, layer by layer, year after year. In this way, the savannah is never truly empty, never truly silent. Its memory persists in the hush beneath the grass, in the silent work of invisible hands. Through this quiet remembrance, the land learns, adapts and endures, ready to embrace whatever the next dawn may bring. While the soil's memory preserves the savannah's past, It is the unseen currents beneath the surface that shape its future. Microscopic rivers, veins of moisture and nutrients, flow silently through the earth, connecting distant roots and hidden chambers. These underground streams carry life-giving water from the heart of ancient aquifers to the thirsty tips of grass and wildflower. Along their winding paths, minerals dissolve, transforming into vital sustenance for the waiting seeds above. In these dark corridors a silent exchange unfolds. Fungi, with their thread-like mycelium, form underground networks that link plants together, allowing them to share resources and warnings. When one plant senses drought or disease, it can signal its neighbours through this fungal web, urging them to prepare or defend. Bacteria, ever vigilant, convert nitrogen from the air into forms the plants can drink, fueling new growth after each rain. As day turns to night and seasons shift, these hidden currents never rest. They pulse with the rhythm of the savannah, orchestrating a continuous cycle of renewal. Every blade of grass, every blooming flower owes its life to the tireless work unfolding beneath its roots. Here in the darkness, the savannah's resilience is forged not by chance, but by the ceaseless flow of nature's invisible rivers. In the great tapestry of the savannah, it is these unseen currents that ensure life not only returns but thrives, year after year, dawn after dawn. Beneath the sprawling savannah, another layer of life exists, one that is both ancient and essential. These are the guardians of equilibrium, the microorganisms that maintain the balance within this vast ecosystem. Invisible to the naked eye, these tiny architects work tirelessly to ensure that life above flourishes in harmony. In the shadows of the soil, bacteria and fungi form intricate alliances. Some microbes break down organic matter, transforming fallen leaves and animal remains into rich, fertile soil. This process releases essential nutrients back into the earth, feeding the roots of plants and trees. Others engage in a delicate dance of competition and cooperation, each species playing a role in the grand design of the savannah. Nematodes, tiny worm-like creatures, patrol the underground highways, preying on harmful bacteria and fungi, ensuring that no single species dominates. Protists, single-celled organisms, swim through the thin films of water that coat soil particles, hunting even smaller prey and recycling nutrients. Through their combined efforts, these microorganisms regulate the flow of nutrients and maintain the delicate balance of the soil ecosystem. They act as nature's custodians, ensuring that the savannah remains a place of abundance and diversity. But their work is not limited to the soil. These guardians also influence the atmosphere above. By breaking down organic matter, they release carbon dioxide, which plants then use for photosynthesis. This exchange of gases is a critical component of the global carbon cycle, linking the savannah to the health of the entire planet. As day turns to night and the seasons change, the guardians of equilibrium continue their silent labour, unseen yet indispensable. Their existence is a testament to the interconnectedness of all life, a reminder that every blade of grass, every towering tree owes its survival to the tireless efforts of the smallest inhabitants of the earth. In the grand tapestry of the savannah, these microorganisms weave the threads of life, ensuring that the cycle of renewal continues unbroken. They are the unsung heroes, the invisible forces that sustain the heartbeat of this vibrant ecosystem. Beneath the surface, the guardians of equilibrium set the stage for another vital performance, one orchestrated not by animals or plants, but by the dance of elemental forces. Here, the soil becomes a living laboratory, where minerals, water and air intermingle in a perpetual cycle of transformation. As rain seeps through the grasses, droplets carry dissolved minerals deep into the earth, nourishing the web of life below. Clay particles cling to nutrients, releasing them only when roots or microbes call upon their hidden reserves. Oxygen drifts through tiny pores, fueling respiration for countless unseen organisms, while carbon, locked away in organic matter, slowly returns to the atmosphere through microbial alchemy. This elemental ballet shapes the destiny of the savanna. When lightning forks across the sky, it splits nitrogen molecules, sending them to Earth in a form plants can use, a rare electrifying gift. Deep within the soil, special bacteria capture this nitrogen, converting it into life-giving compounds and sharing them with plant partners in a silent pact. Even the stones beneath the grass are part of the story. Over millennia, weather and water wear them down, releasing trace elements essential for growth. Iron, magnesium and calcium each plays a role in the grand design, flowing through roots, stems and leaves before returning once more to the earth. Nothing is wasted. Every element cycles endlessly, carried by wind, water, fire and life itself. The savanna endures because of this ceaseless exchange, a choreography as old as the land. In the quiet heart of the soil, the dance of elements continues, unseen, unending and essential, sustaining the wild beauty of the savanna for generations yet to come. Beneath the sun-baked surface of the savanna, a hidden network thrives, one that binds the roots of plants in a secretive, silent symphony. This underground alliance, known as Mycorrhizae, is a delicate web of fungal threads that connects individual plants into a vast communal organism. These microscopic filaments extend far beyond the reach of any single root, weaving through the soil in a quest for nutrients and water. In return for the sugars produced by photosynthesis, mycorrhizal fungi deliver essential minerals and moisture to their plant partners, fostering growth and resilience in the face of the savanna's harsh extremes. As the sun scorches the earth above, the mycorrhizae work tirelessly below, mapping out an intricate network that spans the length and breadth of the ecosystem. Phosphorus, nitrogen and other vital elements are ferried through these subterranean highways, ensuring that even the most isolated plants receive the sustenance they need. But the mycorrhizal network is more than just a nutrient delivery system. It is a communication channel, a lifeline that allows plants to share information and resources. When a plant is attacked by herbivores or infected by pathogens, chemical signals are sent through the mycorrhizal web, alerting neighbouring plants to the threat. This early warning system enables them to bolster their defences, producing compounds that deter predators and halt the spread of disease. In this way, the mycorrhizal network fosters a sense of community, a cooperative spirit that underpins the survival of the savanna. It is a testament to the interconnectedness of life, a reminder that even the smallest, most overlooked organisms play a crucial role in the grand tapestry of nature. As dusk falls and the savanna cools, the Mycorrhizae continue their silent work, unseen and uncelebrated. Yet their contributions are invaluable, sustaining the delicate balance of this remarkable ecosystem. In the quiet of the night, the mycorrhizal network hums with life, a testament to the enduring power of collaboration and the unseen forces that shape our world.